Hey guys, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time we are taking a look at the Fall Cybertron Bruticus combination. Now we have all 5 of the Combaticons transformed, and if you want to see how they transformed, go to the separate reviews for each figure, but until then, let's just go ahead and combine the whole set, because that's pretty much what's left. Anyways, so to start off with, you got these little mushroom peg systems, and you've got this little box systems, or whatever you want to call it. You basically just connect them like so. So it's kind of like a backwards Combiner Wars peg. These will also not work with Combiner Wars, by the way. I probably should mention that. Also, I should mention that the Vortex hand, I didn't mention this in the review, but the thumb can also rotate to the side. It will not go all the way, but if you want this Vortex to be on this side, you just rotate the thumb like so, or you can leave it like that, or you can transform it into the gun mode, or the nose for the helicopter mode as like a gun system thing. And also this midsection likes to disconnect. So there we go, there's that. Anyways, moving on from that, we also have Swindle as a leg, like so. And then we have Brawl as a leg, like so. And there is Bruticus all combined. So we got that. The legs aren't fantastic. I think that the Swindle is pretty cool, but it kind of leans back, and then the Brawl does not have a heel, but it seems to stand itself up just fine, so I'm not going to really complain about that, but I believe if you bring one of the arms back, it will fall backwards, so there's that. So just something to watch. But there is Bruticus all combined, and you know what? I thought that this was going to suck, and I was pretty happy that I got the Bruticus set for this. But, you know what? It doesn't look that bad. I think that as far as, like, getting all these Transformers to combine, I think it looks decent. But at the same time, I know a lot of people complain about Combiner Wars for being simple and all repaints. But because of this is pretty much the main reason why I'm glad that Combiner Wars isn't just complicated, or they don't try to do new things for each one. Because if they do, you kind of get this. And this isn't that great. I will say it's not terrible. There's just something about it that I really do like. But I appreciate Combiner Wars because it has... See, with Combiner Wars, they look more filled out. They actually have a Voyager for the main body piece. Their limb modes just look fine, you know. They're not mind-blowing, but, you know, they're fine. They do the job, so that's pretty good. You can also combine all the weapons for this guy. Unfortunately, I do not have the Swindle and Brawl weapon, but I believe they would go into the middle. I believe I actually have this wrong. It doesn't really matter. There's multiple combination ways you can do with this. You can also just leave the green piece off, and I believe you can actually still combine the Swindle and Brawl guns to these, so you can attach it like so. Unfortunately, when I got this, they didn't come with the Swindle and Brawl weapon, so I just usually leave these off as separate guns. And then this piece will also attach to the back, and the reason why you want to attach this to the back is not only can you see the head and it doesn't fill out itself, and you don't have a gunner section on the back, just like how he has in the game, but the shoulders don't really tab into place, so you have these extra little joints that probably don't work out for you. So you're going to want to attach this to the back, unless you got the Bruticus set. I do have that, but that's not what we're taking a look at. I love the head design. I think that's pretty cool. The joints are fine. You know, they do their job just fine, honestly. I mean, they're pretty tight, so I do like that. I think that Brawl isn't the best with his knee joint, but he's got a lot of weight going on for him. I mean, he's got like 3 other figures on top of him, so I kind of understand that. The Swindle one is okay. I do like the fact that the knee actually moves with that. I think that's pretty cool, but you might want to watch out for that because it might just disconnect, which it just did, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. But again, this is pretty much the reason why I appreciate Combiner Wars, is because they tried to do something different and complicated with all these figures, and it just didn't work out because you got so much stuff going on with this that they have to sacrifice a lot for each mode. Like, for some of these modes, they're fine, but for other modes, they just don't look that good. For Combiner Wars, because they were simple, they didn't have to sacrifice as much to get a decent robot, limb mode, or torso mode, and alt mode. Yeah, you still have a bunch of kibble, and they're not always perfect, but you know what? Compared to this, Combiner Wars just looks fantastic. I mean, compare this to the Combiner Wars Bruticus, and there's going to be a huge difference in quality. And the fact that the Combiner Wars is more stable than this, I don't know, it's just, I appreciate that. I think that as an attempt for a combiner like this, because we did have Power Core combiners at around the same time, but they didn't really do something like this for a while. Basically what we got for a while was just reissues of like the Energon combiners. So as far as that is concerned, like going back to this, I think they did a fairly okay job. And I think they learned something out of this, moving on to Combiner Wars. So, the next time you complain about Combiner Wars and how, like, they're just way too simple and they're all repaints, think of this. Think of what this could have been. Because you could have had this for, like, each figure. Yes, you know, Third Party does a fantastic job with their figures, and they do all the modes and whatnot, and they look fantastic, but also these are kids' toys, so they have to have some level of simplicity. They can't just go all out with their toys. I mean, you know, you can argue with me on that, but I don't know. I just don't want all the limbs to be Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. So, with that out of the way, I do like this. I think it's pretty cool. In a way, you know. I think that as an attempt, it's okay. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's great. If you were to get some of the upgrade kits, like the Microblaze, or the, I think it's Microblaze, or the Bruticus set, then yeah, this is definitely worth it, because you have no idea how much the Bruticus really helps with this, and I believe the Microblaze is also fantastic for this. Unfortunately, I don't have the Microblaze setup, but I do have the Bruticus. We'll take a look at that later on. But as far as this is concerned, it's just okay, you know? It does its job. Its arms don't really look that good, but they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. I mean, at least for Blastoff, you do get a little bit of articulation with them, so that's pretty good. It just doesn't look that great. There are different, like, fan modes you can do with this, too. I think that Vortex is, alright as a limb. It's just his hand doesn't look good. But I do understand why his hand looks like that, so there's at least that. But you do get decent articulation out of the arm, so there's that. And again, that head just looks fantastic, too. So I just think they needed a Voyager, and to kind of simplify some of these figures would actually have helped. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun dudes. And I'll see you guys next time. Fist bump.